Head to Head. Grand Slam, hosted by Dennis Miller and Amanda Byram. Premieres Saturday, August 4th, 7 p.m. 6 Central on GSN.
Number 1, what is your name?
My name is Kathy Taylor, and I'm one tough mother.
Number 2, what is your name?
My name is Kathy Taylor, and I am one tough mother.
Number 3, what is your name?
My name is Kathy Taylor, and I am one tough mother.
Only one of these people is the real Kathy Taylor and has sworn to tell the truth. Now, let's meet our panelists. Meshach Taylor, Paula Poundstone, comedian Bobby Slayton, and from Baywatch, Hawaii, Krista Allen. Here's the star of To Tell the Truth, John O'Hurley.
Thank you, and welcome to Tell the Truth. A big hello to the celebrity panel. Are you ready to play?
Yes, John.
Beautiful. Nice to see you. As you know, all 3 of these players claim to be the real SWAT team leader. 2 are lying, and only one has signed a statement swearing to tell the truth. And your job is to find out who that is. So if you open your affidavits and read along with me, we will read the sworn testimony of the real Kathy Taylor. I, Kathy Taylor, am the first woman in the United States to be appointed captain of a SWAT team. After 24 years in law enforcement and with the encouragement of my husband, I reached this position because I excelled academically and physically. What you are seeing is not only an example of the tests that I had to pass, but also the level of fitness that I must maintain. As at any time that I could be called upon to defuse a hostage situation, negotiate with a barricaded suspect, or apprehend a dangerous fugitive. In these situations, I am known as Captain Taylor. In family matters, however, I am known simply as Mom. Signed, Kathy Taylor. All right, panel and audience, all 3 of these women claim to be the real SWAT team leader. But which one is it? That will be your job. Are my Kathy Taylors ready? All right, it's time to play To Tell the Truth. And we'll go down to the end and start the questioning with Meshach Taylor.
Thank you, John. Captain Taylor, number 1, was there any resistance to your appointment as a woman for a woman to be leading a SWAT team? Was there resistance to that when you first started?
Not when I first started as a captain.
No? How about you, number 2?
I didn't meet any resistance, no.
Okay, number 1, what caliber sidearm does your SWAT team use?
The 9mm.
How about you, number 3?
Beretta 9mm.
And you, number 2?
I use a 9mm Beretta.
And now, how many years were you on the force before, number 2, before you were appointed or decided to become a SWAT?
What kind of questioning? I like where you're going. Paul, on you.
I like where you're going. Number 2, how old are your kids?
30 and 28.
Do you use timeouts still?
No pull-ups.
Number 3, what are you, how old are your kids?
28 and 30.
Number 1, how old are your kids?
I have one, he's 11.
And what do you do when he or she?
He?
Number 1, what do you do when he doesn't do his homework?
Well, he does do his homework. I don't have any trouble with that.
Yeah, you really have a kid.
Bobby, on to you.
Okay, number 1, before captain, what was your rank?
I was lieutenant.
Very nice. Number 2, your favorite gun to shoot would be, I know you carry a Beretta, but what's your favorite gun?
The MP5.
And number 3, in a hostage situation, what kind of gun do they give you?
The Beretta, but my SWAT team leaders, they also use their choice of weapons.
And number 3, how old were you when you started in law enforcement?
24.
Okay.
All right, Krista, finishing up with you.
Okay, number 1, did you keep your title as captain during your pregnancy?
I wasn't captain when I was pregnant.
Ah, okay. When did you get pregnant?
Oh, 12 years ago.
12 years ago, okay. All right, and number 2, what year were you appointed captain?
1999.
Oh, so this is just recent. And
yes.
Number 2, why is the MP5 your favorite? to use?
Well, it's a smaller weapon.
Ooh, okay, the bell this is an interesting one.
Yeah,
that means time is up, and our celebrity panel has to lock in their votes without discussion. Is it number 1, number 2, or number 3? And the audience is going to be casting their votes at this time as well. And I will remind you that our team of challengers receives $1,000 for every incorrect vote. And if it's a clean sweep, if they fool all of our celebrities and the majority of our audience, they will win a total of $10,000. And we'll be back in a moment to find out how they voted and who the real femme fatale Kathy Taylor is, right here on To Tell the Truth.
Do you have... It's a...
All right, welcome back to Tell the Truth. Which one of our challengers is the real SWAT team leader, Kathy Taylor? Well, Meshach, we're going to start with you. For whom did you vote?
Okay, I tell you, this was a really tough one because they're all very convincing. But there's something about the demeanor of our first contestant that makes me kind of think that maybe she is the one. And plus, I get this vibe I'd like for her to restrain me, maybe do a little body search or something. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna. And that's her 9mm, and there she is shooting holes in number 1.
Okay. All right. Paula, on to you. For whom did you vote?
Well, they all look very fit to me. Anyways, number 1 has an 11-year-old that does his homework, and I believe that's because he knows if he doesn't, she'll kick his door down.
Kick his door down. Okay, Bobby, who did you vote?
All right. Well, number 3, the problem is she looks a little too tough. Sort of that, Sergeant Carter from Gomer Pyle doesn't let up at all, so a little too tough. And number 2, the problem is she looks a little too mom-like. So again, I go with my instincts, where number 1 has the mom-gun combination. Looks like you shoot her kid if the kid didn't do the homework. So I can easily see. I say number 1.
Yes.
But who am I to say?
That's right. She kind of had that all-important Madonna assassin look to you.
Exactly,
All right.
exactly. She's got it.
Krista, for whom did you vote?
I decided to go right down the middle and go with number 2.
With number 2, I don't see a difference of opinion there. We have 3 votes for number 1, 1 vote for number 2, and it's time now to find out how the audience voted. Oh, we're leaning a little bit towards number 1 as well. The consensus there was 47%. That goes as a vote for number 1, 4 votes for number 1, 1 vote for number 2, and it's now time to find out which one of our players is the real SWAT team leader. Will the real Kathy Taylor please stand up? Kathy, we'll be back to you in just a minute. Number 1, who are you and what do you really do?
My name is Sienna Okada. I'm a mother and a creative writer.
A mother and a creative writer. Well, you have a focus that says, don't mess with me. Very good. Number 3, who are you and what do you really do?
My name's Lori Thibodeau, and I'm a bartender at a female impersonator house. Yeah.
Kathy, tell us a little more about this. Now, where are you based, first of all?
For the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, our home base is in East L.A.
In East L.A.,
Yeah.
wow. Wow. Well, you were a wonderful panel. You garnered 4 incorrect answers. That's $4,000 for our team of challengers to split. We want to thank you all for being with us today. Let's take a look right now at what is coming next on To Tell the Truth.
Number 1, how do worms have sex?
How do worms have sex?
Yes.
I don't know.
That's what's coming up next.
This is Russell Simmons.
Number 1, what is your name?
My name is Bob Hurd, and I'm the Dr. Ruth of the Animal Kingdom.
Number 2, what is your name?
My name is Bob Hurd, and I am the Dr. Ruth of the Animal Kingdom.
Number 3, what is your name?
My name is Bob Hurd, and I'm the Dr. Ruth of the Animal Kingdom.
Only one of these people is the real Robert Hurd and has sworn to tell the truth.
right. Welcome back, panelists. I want you to open the affidavits in front of you and follow along with me as I read the sworn testimony of the real Bob Hurd. I, Bob Hurd, assist wild animals in doing the wild thing. As an animal mating specialist, my skills range from teaching dogs how to do it to helping pachyderms reproduce. I developed my husbandry skills working with bulls on my family's farm. From there, you could say I went ape, and my practice expanded into a who's who of the wild kingdom. And if you think Pavlov got an impressive response, you should see how my patients respond to the sight of me. Well, today, I'm the proud owner of a top Midwestern sex therapy clinic, where I use my own tools and techniques, which are the animal equivalent of soft music and cheap red wine. Signed, Bob Hurd. All right, panel and audience, all three of these men claim to be the real animal mating specialist, but which one is it? Are my Bob Hurds ready? All right. It's time to play To Tell the Truth. And let's start the questioning. Down on the end with Meshach Taylor.
Thank you so much. Number 2, where are you from?
I'm from Canada.
Canada? How about you, number 1, where are you from?
Elgin, Illinois.
And you, number 3?
Elgin, Illinois.
Okay. Now, number 2, are you a vet?
No.
How about you, number 3?
No, not.
Not a vet. Number 1, what is the gestation period of an elephant? How long does it take for an elephant to go from doing the wild thing to actually, dropping a little baby elephant?
I understand. About 16 months.
16 months? How about you, number 2? Same question.
It's about 20.
Okay, difference of opinion there. Let's come down to our lovely visitor, Krista Allen.
Okay. The first question that comes to my mind, number 2, what moved you to actually become an animal sex therapist?
Can't believe I was here when that happened.
Getting paid for it.
What's that?
Getting paid for it.
Getting paid for it. Okay. Number 3, you mentioned Pavlov in your testimony. I'm sure you're familiar with his experiments. What kind of conditioned responses have you used with your animals?
You make them comfortable. You give them a safe, secure, quiet place so they're not stressed.
Bobby, on to you.
All right, number 1, you have more problems with males or females?
Males.
Number 2, what is the horniest of all the animals that you work with?
Chimpanzees.
Chimpanzees are the horniest and the least horny?
Yes.
Which are the least horny?
An animal that doesn't want to do it.
But any particular species?
Pardon?
Any particular species?
Any animal.
Any animal at all. Okay. Number 3.
Oh, that's too bad. Paula, we're going to conclude with you.
I'm sorry, number 3, who brings the patients to you? I mean, does an elephant wouldn't approach you and say, I'm having a problem?
The owner brings them to me.
The owner. So, but in the case of an elephant, you mentioned pachyderms in the bio. Who owns an elephant that they happen to notice isn't having sex?
Zoos, circuses.
Zoos. Number 1, how do worms have sex?
How do worms have sex?
Yes.
I don't know.
Number 3, cats are always yowling. Number 2, excuse me, cats are always yowling at night. Why is that?
Many times it's because they're being bred.
Celebrity panelists, it's time to lock in your votes without discussion. Is it number 1, number 2, or number 3? And the audience is going to be casting their votes at this time as well. And I will remind you that our team of challengers receives $1,000 for every incorrect vote. And if it's a clean sweep, if they fool all of our celebrities and the majority of our audience, they will win a total of $10,000. And we'll be back in a moment to find out not only how they voted, but who is the real Bob Hurd, animal mating specialist, right here on To Tell the Truth. All right, welcome back to Tell the Truth. One of our challengers is the real animal mating specialist, Bob Hurd, the man who teaches animals to get jiggy with it. Now, the other 2 are lying. So, Meshach, we're going to start with you. For whom did you vote?
Well, John, you know, it said they're from the Midwest, and I kind of thought Elgin, Illinois is probably in the Midwest, but I don't think Canada is. And number 2 is from Canada. Number 1 said 16 months, I believe, for the period that it takes for an elephant to deliver an offspring, and I think that may be a little short. I think that it was number 3, and this is that a little glass of champagne that the elephant has had after, you know.
After 16 plus months of carrying that child. All right. Paula, for whom did you vote?
This was a tough call right across the board because, of course, in Canada there's a Midwest.
Well, yeah, but...
I don't think we eliminate a man for being from Canada. I don't see that as fair at all.
Why not?
I don't know. This is what I think. If I were an elephant and number 1 came up, I'd do it. There.
It's simple, just that je ne sais quoi that animals want, I guess. All right.
All right.
Bobby, whom did you vote for?
I was also going to say no to number 2 because of the Canadian thing. And then when I look at 1 and 3, to me, number 1 just looks like the farmer shrink kind of a guy combination. He looks like he could do both those things and help the animal. So I also went with number 1.
Number 1. We appreciate not only the hearts, but the little tail and legs as well. Krista, for whom did you vote?
I had a really hard time because everybody was pretty convincing. I singled out number 2 and 3 just because of their answers, and it didn't seem like they were too involved with the animals. So I had to go with number 1.
Number 1. Number 1 for the pure passion of it all. Well, number 1 got 3 votes. Number 3, you got 1 vote. Still a shutout on number 2, and it's time to find out now how our audience voted. Let's look over my left shoulder here. Well, here's a first. We have 38%, 38%. We have no consensus in our audience, and according to our judges, we are not allowed to award a correct vote. That will have to be recorded as an incorrect vote and $1,000 for our challengers to split. So, it is now time to find out which one of our challengers is our real animal mating specialist. Will the real Bob Hurd please stand up? How about that? Well, of course, well, of course, in addition to not only having no consensus vote from the audience, because everybody was stumped on that, the jackpot will be $10,000. Sit down for just a second, Bob, and we want to talk to number 1. You garnished all the votes. Now, who are you and what you do? Despite the fact you didn't know how the worms mate.
I'll never know.
It's one of life's great mysteries.
It is indeed.
Who are you and what do you really do?
My name is Ken Johnson, and I'm a retired technical writer.
Technical writer, okay. Well, congratulations to you, because you assimilated a lot of technical information very, very quickly. Number 3, you also got a vote. Who are you and what do you really do?
My name is Jim Thomas, and I work for the United States Census Bureau.
All right, Bob Hurd, here's a question. Do animals actually enjoy sex?
Sure they do, just like people.
Well, that doesn't mean anything.
Maybe not to you.
It doesn't. Well, once again, we had all incorrect votes, and that is a jackpot of $10,000 that the 3 of you be splitting. Congratulations. We want to thank you all for being with us today. I want to say a big thank you to my celebrity panel, Meshach Taylor, Paula Poundstone, Bobby Slayton, and Krista Allen. And I want to say, remember, always tell the truth, because as Mark Twain always said, if you tell the truth, you have nothing else to remember. We'll see you next time. Thanks again.
16 champions are training for the toughest game show competition of them all. Watch Ken Jennings and the biggest winners in game show history go head-to-head.
What is 2.4 times 4? Name the capital of Indonesia.
In the smartest show on earth, Grand Slam, hosted by Dennis Miller and Amanda Byram. Premieres Saturday, August 4th, 7 p.m. 6 Central, only on GS.